here's me again. My name is Milene. For the ones who don't know me already, I am French, so please excuse my accent. Bear with me. And right now I am based in Rio de Janeiro, and I work for Latin America, Wagon Latin America. I was a student in 2018. I did the web dev bootcamp, the same one you guys will be doing. I loved it so much. I loved the team. I loved how they were changing people's lives that I decided to stay. I changed all my plans and stayed with the team in Brazil, in Latin America. And I've been here ever since for 3 years now, almost four very soon. And I'm excited to take on this new challenge to launch the bootcamp in Playa del Carmen. Actually, I just came back from 10 days in Búzios. It's a little paradise in Brazil with blue water, amazing Wi-Fi, great digital nomad community. I was with a friend there. It was coding. I was working on my Playa del Carmen project in Mexico. And I kept thinking how excited I was for July to be living with experience with 20 students and the teachers for 2 months to learn a new hard but challenging skills that will change your life for the better. Because I was like on my computer looking at the beautiful views and I was like, wow, I cannot wait to give that to people, to help people achieve their dreams. And yeah, that's why we're here today. So for the ones who missed the last info session, this is the second one. The first one was just 3 weeks ago, and it was extremely, oh, not this one, sorry. It was like 45 minutes of pure content, like what you will be learning every single day, how every single day at Wagon is structured, the selection process, the preparation process. So if you're curious about like the nitty-gritty of like the bootcamp itself, please check it out. At the beginning, I talked about the origin of the program, why we wanted to launch it, what's going to happen, how is it going to happen. So if you want more of that kind of details, I highly, highly advise you to check it out. You can also ask me all your questions in the chat here on YouTube or in the Zoom, and I will be answering all of them. But please check this info session because it was really, I covered it all. But something happened in the meantime, in the last 3 weeks, that I really, really wanted to share with you. In Brazil, we just released, like right after the last info session, our student outcomes report. And I believe this is something very important for you because, okay, I do the bootcamp, I learned how to code, I changed my life, but like what happens next? What's next? And this report is basically like, just a disclaimer, it's our Brazil numbers. I didn't have the time to gather all the numbers from all worldwide, but like just for to know, Brazil right now is going through a rough time with a funky president, very high inflation, and still the tech industry is thriving, and still our students have never been so hired and so fast. So that's why I was excited to show you that, and bear in mind that these are the Brazil numbers. So if you compare to France, Germany, Japan, like all of these numbers, like me, I just downloaded this one from the Brazil website, but you can just go on lewagon.com/London/Melbourne/Montreal and see their numbers, which are even better than in Latin America. And the Latin American ones are already great. So I wanted to show you guys this. Where am I? So this is the most interesting thing, I believe, the employment rate. How long? So like you do the bootcamp, for example, you take 1 week, 2 weeks perhaps to enjoy Mexico, to have a little rest after the intense 9 weeks of coding. Then you start working on your application, and according to our data, in the next month you will be finding a job. And that's something very important for us to know, to like kind of information we collect, because it's not just about learning how to code, it's about changing your life, having more opportunities. And we're very happy and proud and honored that we're a part of the journey of all of these students. So I'm gonna send you, I'm gonna ask Victor, our community manager, to send it to you on YouTube and on Zoom for you to have access to all this data. But basically, the conclusion is that 92% of our graduates find a job in the next 3 months after the bootcamp, and after 4 months, 4 months, all of them are employed. And for the ones who are more from humanities, like other kind of fields, it's actually a very good amount of time, because in that kind of tech jobs selection process, there are tests. For example, like the company is going to send you a test and they're going to tell you you have 2 weeks to deliver it. So that's why like 4 months, 3 months is actually a good amount of time, because you have the time to do a few interviews with company, do a few tests, do another test like with a tech lead, with the team, and then you sign the contract and you hop on a new team, remotely, freelance, whatever. But that's our data. So I thought it was, and it's much better than last year. It's much better than the previous year. Like every single year it improves. And again, that these are the Brazil number. So please imagine countries that are thriving like France, the UK, etc. So yeah. And what do they do? So like 2/3 of them found a new job. A few of them continue studying, and some like 10%, about 10% become freelancers. Why? Because again, these are Brazilian numbers, and in Brazil we have a lot of students in São Paulo, which is in Portuguese, so it's a lot of local people. So these are more the ones who look for a new job. In Rio, our classes are in English, just like in Playa del Carmen, it's in English, just like in Mexico, in Bali, in Lisbon. Like we have these cities that do not take the language, the local language, and choose to have a more international approach. And of course, in these cities, the rate is much higher for freelancers, digital nomads. So yeah, so because here it's mixed with São Paulo, which is a lot of locals. That's why but I still believe it's good. It's a good amount of people still. Something else I wanted to show you here. Where is it? So again, on this document, you have all our data. Like everything is very transparent. Like how many people answered, are they women, men, what do they do with their lives? Oh, something interesting, I believe, like it's always curiosity, like what do people did before, to see if you identify. But again, like I've seen people from all ages, all background, artists, engineer, housewives, like all backgrounds who just like want to learn a new skill that is valuable on the market and change their life. So really, like this is data, but like still, even if you don't identify, please come. We have a diverse community and we want to keep on being diverse. This and another cool data I wanted to show you. Where is it? No, I can't find it anymore. Oh yeah, so this is nice also again to see that actually you also have a 2/3 of chances to get hired in the next month. That's what we saw before. Found a job. Oh, interesting also, like how many offers do people receive? Like you start looking for a job, you receive a few offers, like most of them receive one offer, accept it, etc. Another part receive like 2 to 3, and then lucky ones receive 3 to 5. And that's actually quite a good amount. No matter if it's a field, I believe it's a great number to receive that many offers. This, and as for working hours, I believe it's also important for us going to Playa del Carmen to have a qualitative experience. It's very important for us to have a good life, a good amount of hobbies on the side. And for example, we can see here that most people do a nice 9 to 5 every single day. I've been working in the law field for some time in my life, so I see the value in working a 9 to 5. Yeah, if you wanna like see what kind of contracts, the salaries, etc. Again, like these are the Brazilian numbers. You can go on any page from any cities: London, Lisbon, Madrid, Tokyo, Seoul, Shanghai. Like all of these cities have their own outcome report. I just took this one because it's the latest one released, and I thought it was extremely good number for us. And I was excited for you and your future. Something else I wanted to mention is our community. I know I mentioned it in our last info session, but I didn't have so much time to develop. For the ones who don't know yet, this is our platform, which is called Kit. And on Kit, something really cool and very valuable, like mostly for you guys, for the team of Playa del Carmen, is the alumni part of our Kit platform, which is basically we built our own LinkedIn inside. So for example, right now you are based, let's say that you're based in Lisbon for the summer. No, you will be in Playa del Carmen. For the winter, you'll be in Lisbon, and you're interested to like you do the web dev bootcamp and you want to meet someone who's more into data, Python, you're interested in that part, you can select Python and you see all the people in Lisbon from part of the Wagon community who say that they are experts in that field. Super cool. Let's pick, for example, Andrea, the first one. What does he do? Okay, he's a teacher. That's a bad example. But it's also a great, great network for you guys to meet the teachers. João, what does João does? Is the environmental consulting. You can see a little bio of his. You can see his skills, his background. He did the data science bootcamp. Awesome. And the most interesting thing here, you can see LinkedIn, his Slack, his GitHub. You can see every single project he did with Le Wagon and with it by himself, his phone number, email, and all of these are amazing data for you guys to have to network. Mostly if you're into like digital nomad, freelance, like you have to get out of your comfort zone and contact people. That's like the core of this whole industry. Something else really cool is that we have the same kind of LinkedIn concept, but with companies. So let's imagine your dream is to work for Google. You type Google here, and you can see all the Le Wagon students who worked in the past or who are working now at Google. Let's say you're interested in products. You see that Victor King is a product marketing manager at Google, and he has done Le Wagon. Oh, he's a very old student like me in 2018. And same, you have access to all of his contacts if you want to contact Victor and say like, hey, I really would like to work on the product team of Google. And this is very much part of our DNA to work with our network, right? I see there's a question in the chat. No question. Is there any question in the YouTube chat, Victor? No question. Okie dokie. If you have any question, you can like even unmute yourself if you want. Okie dokie. You can unmute yourself and talk to me directly. I'm here to help. Okay. Continuing on the idea of communities and everything, I wanted to show you guys Slack. Let me set it up here. So Slack, for the ones who don't know, it's a communication software tool. And we use it for our 15,000 people community in the whole world. And basically, when you start the bootcamp, you will have your own channel. So you can see here, that's the last web development bootcamp in Rio. We have, it's actually, yeah, like we have the teacher sharing some good resources for the students. You can send your questions here. It's basically just a way to organize everything from the class. And then we have a bunch, please ignore all my notifications. We have a lot of channels. No matter your passion, what you're interested in, we have a channel for it. Let's say you're interested in design, we have a channel for design. You are French and you'd like to know what's happening in France, we have a channel just for French people. You want to look for a job, we have job channels for each city, but we also have a global job boards. Let me update it. Opa. And because it's so busy, like we have like, I don't know, like more than 30 job posts being posted on this channel every single day from all around the world. London here. This is in French, this is in Lyon, in France. Where is it? Perhaps remote. So you see a lot of things are happening here just for the Wagon community. And then we have the own channels for each country. For example, in Brazil, we have Wagon Brazil. So same thing, like we have, we're posting job posts every single day for the students to see. So it was much busier before the pandemic, but hopefully it will come back very soon. We have channels for women, freelancers Brazil, so like people offering freelance jobs. Fun fact, just to continue here, fun fact, we have a lot of developers actually who do Le Wagon, not so much because of the skill, because there are developers already and our bootcamp is made for beginners, but much more for the network. For example, is a kind of developer that learn how to code by themselves at home, like coding little websites for people, and they have no idea, for example, how to code with a team, with other people. They have no idea how GitHub works as a team. So they come to the bootcamp to learn that kind of skill, learn with a team, code with a team, and that's the kind of skills they need to become valuable on the market. This, and of course, the network, which is also, it's always very valuable no matter the industry. And at Wagon, like we've been doing this for 8 years now. We're one of the first bootcamp in the whole world. So we have a very strong community to rely on. And among the beautiful success stories I've heard, one of my favorite one is the one from Luciano. Let me show you. I'm gonna use our Wagon LinkedIn to show you. Where is it here? So I go back to alumni. It's the story of Luciano, just to show like the power of Slack, our community, how it works. So Luciano was a student in São Paulo. Where is he? He's here. In 2017, so he was one of the first one. Oh, he hasn't updated his LinkedIn. Bummer. Let me check here. Luciano did the boot camp, and he just continued to study on his own, and he was helping people on the help channel. The help channel on Slack is a channel where you post your bugs, problem, and other Wagon people help you. Okay, that's a very valuable channel to have. And one day, just helped a random guy in France, and then the guy came the next day again, like, hey Luciano, can you please help me again? I have the same bug again. So like, sure, no problem. He helps him again, and then at some point it came again saying like, hey Luciano, okay, it's getting too much work now. Do you want to do a freelance contract with me? Like I'll pay you to fix it. And he said like, yeah, awesome. Like the guy started to earn in euros from Brazil. Awesome. And then at some point it went so well that they even offered like working visa, coming to France and everything. But at that time, a friend of his from Wagon also offered him to launch a tech startup, a fintech startup in São Paulo. And that's the path it shows. And now is a CTO of Provi, which is actually our financial partner at Wagon for Brazil and for other Latin American countries for installments or like all kind of payment solutions. So this, I thought it was like a very beautiful story. Like the guy went through the whole spectrum of Wagon opportunities, like through helping someone randomly on the Slack community, to getting a job offer, to like meeting another Wagon person and building a company together. And that's exactly the kind of success story I wish to every single student. This is just one among many. In Rio, I'm based in Rio right now. Like I also manage the Rio school. We have a lot of foreign students who come for 9 weeks in Brazil, learn how to code, fall in love with the country, and then they travel all around Latin America. And yeah, that's really something I was wishing for you guys to live. I see there are a lot of people in the Zoom call and on the YouTube chat. So if you want to send me any question, I can just make it more casual to discuss. Feel free to do so, okay? I'm here to help. Opa. You can unmute yourself. You don't have to put your camera on if you're shy. No? Okay, okay. So just going back to the main subject. For the ones who missed the last info session, let me give you another recap on how it works. So again, it's 9 weeks, Monday to Friday, from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. in the beautiful city of Playa del Carmen. And basically, every single day has the same dynamic. Like we have a very similar structure every single day. Basically, you start the day at 9 a.m. and from 9 until 10:30, you have a live class. Like the teacher is standing in front of you. They have their computer with them and they show their screen to you, they code. It's a very practical class. Like you can, it's not so much theory. It's a lot of the teacher showing you, okay, like today we're gonna learn that. Here is how you do it. They explain it with further details. And you don't have to do anything. You can take notes if you want, but you don't have to code or anything. And you can ask all your questions. Like the idea is that we keep the class small. It's not going to be more than 20 students for sure. Like we actually blocked it to 20 students to really keep it a unique experience in this unique city. It's like a one-time chance to do it in Playa del Carmen. And you can ask all your questions, okay? And then from 10:30 until 5 in the afternoon, so about 6 hours per day for 9 weeks, for 45 days. You code. Like you practice every single day, and every single day is like incremental to the other. Like it's like every single day is like a building block, and the idea is that you're building a house with the bootcamp. And something specific about Le Wagon and our methodology is that every single day you're matched with another student. We call it the buddy system. Like one day you'll be matched with a student from Portugal, a woman who wants to build her company, a startup in Lisbon. The next day you'll be matched with someone from Venezuela who wants to improve their own business. The next time you'll be matched with someone from China who wants to become a developer and lives a remote life. So it's cool because you get to meet every single person in your class. You get to work with them to meet everybody, and you have an accountability system also. You cannot be like, after lunch, oh, I'm gonna have a nap. No, because Rachel is waiting for you to continue and keep coding. Of course, it's still a very solitary activity, it's still just you and your computer coding. But the idea that if you're stuck, if you want to discuss the exercise, you always have someone to discuss with the problem, okay? So this, and on top of that, we have the teachers and teacher assistants who are here with you every single day. And actually, because most of us come from like traditional education system, like one teacher for 200 students in a big amphitheater, you're not used to asking help to teachers. So actually, we created a rule that if you're stuck for more than 20 minutes and you've tried by yourself many times already, you have to call a teacher. And the teacher will never give you the solution. It's not the point. The point is to make sure that the next time you have the same bug, that you're stuck again, you can solve it by yourself. So the teacher will be like, for example, hey, Veronica, what's wrong? Why are you stuck here? You will explain your problem, and they will make sure that you can do it by yourself. You can solve it by yourself, explain the concepts again, and make sure that you become an independent worker, okay? That's our goal. And that's also why you learn so fast, and the learning curve is so impressive, is because you keep moving forward all the time. For the ones who have tried to learn how to code by themselves, they might know already that it can be, yeah, I mean, if you have a bug, you have a bug. You're stuck for 3-4 hours on Stack Overflow, and that's it. You just hope that a random Indian guy on YouTube will have a tutorial for you, and that's it. Like I know I tried to learn how to code by myself before Le Wagon, and yeah, it was that kind of dynamic. Like you move very slowly, surely, but very slowly. So the bootcamp is moving fast, effectively, with qualitative knowledge, qualitative environment, and moving very fast in this knowledge experience, okay? So this, you have 1 hour to have lunch. Usually we have lunch between like 1 and 2 p.m. And in the place we have in Playa del Carmen, there are plenty of restaurants option around it. So no worries about that. And then afternoon, you come back, we do the same thing. Once a week, we will have a yoga class. I always advise to do it. I always do it. It's my favorite class at Le Wagon. And that's also a good time to be all together. And it's not acrobatic yoga, okay? Like it's not, no pressure on that. It's just breathing, stretching. And because we're sitting all day for like 8 hours per day. So it's really good to have a time to stretch a little bit, to do a little physical activity. And then at the end of the day, from 5 p.m. until usually 6:30, maximum 7 p.m., we have the life code. The life code is like a wrapping up exercise. Like you have all the exercises of the day, and then at the end of the day, you have an exercise that we do all together, you and the teacher. So like all the students and the teacher. And it's usually a more challenging exercise, or even sometimes, because it goes so fast every single day, it's sometimes an exercise to prepare you for the next day. Because we imagine that it's so much content every single day that we even feel the need to prepare you for the next day. This, and then at the end of the day, but that's something you do on your own time. You can even do it like on breakfast the next day before the class. We have flashcards. Flashcards are a little info card with a question like, what's the hash? And you have to answer it. You flip the card, you have the answer. If you got it right, you keep moving forward. If you got it wrong, the question will keep coming until you get it right, okay? If you're curious about how visual, like how the platform works, the exercise, the flashcards, I mentioned all of that in the last info session. I just didn't want to do it all over again for the ones who are attending this one again, but just to make sure that we got you on the same page.
Seems like Milene has some problems with the internet. but
What?
I think she already comes.
I have problem with internet.
Just 1 second. Oh, Milene is back.
Ah,
Hello,
okay.
Milene.
When did you lose me?
Oh, just 5 seconds ago.
Ah, okay, okay.
Don't worry.
Okay, dokie. Dokie. Let me check if there are questions. No? Okay. So this kind of dynamic, like the whole structure I described, is for the first, it's every single day, but it's very like that for the first 6 weeks. And then weeks 7, 8, and 9 are what we call project weeks. So it's 1/3 of the bootcamp. It's the last 3 weeks of the bootcamp, and it's a very similar dynamic. Like you have a class in the morning, but instead of applying the knowledge of the class to exercises, you apply it to a project, which is, in my opinion, the most exciting part of the bootcamp, because finally, when you have enough knowledge, you start building stuff and not just applying the knowledge to exercises. This, and you build 2 projects on the final project weeks. The first one is what we call our Airbnb platform, like we call it Airbnb Week, which is basically a clone of our marketplace. And why do we ask you to build a clone of our marketplace? Because it has all the features that we expect developers to be able to build as soon as you have your first job, for example. Like a messaging feature, a booking feature, different users with different authorization, a map, cards that you can choose, select options, login features, like payment features, like all of these features that you have on Amazon, Airbnb, Uber, like that you would expect anyone to know how to build. Like we learn how to build it in just 1 week. Trust me, it's the case, it works. I've seen it happen many times. And then the last 2 weeks, you build your own project that you have decided, you have voted with a team that will be your final project. And me, for example, when I was a student, I built a podcast app. We used the iTunes API and another API from a random guy in San Francisco. And yeah, it was really exciting. So you can be building anything at the end of the day. And the idea is that these 2 apps will be part of your portfolio for when after the bootcamp, you start looking for a job, you want to show your work, what you can do. And yeah, basically that's the whole dynamic. And then we end with the demo day, which is the final day of the bootcamp, where you showcase the results of your work. You showcase the apps you built, you and your team, in the last 2 weeks. And it's a cool event because we have a big party at the end. Everybody's sad, everybody's tired of the 9 weeks, but it's a beautiful moment to live together. And that's just for the 9 weeks of the bootcamp. And then we have an optional career week. That is basically 1 week of events related to career, like how to improve your LinkedIn, how to build your portfolio. We have workshops for women on imposter syndrome, for example. We have companies coming to tell you what their selection process, what they're looking for, and you can apply for them. So it's basically a transition for you guys from the bootcamp to the real world. Specifically for you, that I know a lot of you want to become digital nomads. I will have former students who became digital nomads come to the bootcamp, to the Career Week events, and tell you like how did they do it, their top tips and tricks, advice to recent graduates who would like to go on this digital nomad freelancer journey. So no worries, I'm in charge. So it will be a highly qualitative event, hopefully. Any question, guys, about like the whole structure, the Career Week, our LinkedIn, Le Wagon LinkedIn? No. Okie dokie. 2 things I wanted to remind you. Tell me. Good. Okay. I wanted to remind you that before the bootcamp, there are 2 steps. The first step is a selection process, which is basically a little 25 minutes call with me, just to make sure that we're on the same page. It's just for me to know you better. And I'm going to tell you if I believe that Le Wagon is the right step for you. Because like me as a manager, I have no interest in accepting you if I believe that this is not the right career step. So for you, it's a good way to know, if it's the right step for you in your career. This, and then once this is done, you have a 1-hour online quiz. It's a quiz for beginners, so like no No need to freak out if you're like, oh, but I don't know how to go. It's okay. Like the quiz is for beginner, and you're actually highly encouraged to use Google. Like if there's a question and you don't know the answer, you use Google. We actually assess that too. So no worries about that. And once this is done, you completed it, you become a Wagon student, you sign your student contract. Then there's a preparation process, which takes approximately like 40 to 50 hours. I'm thinking if I can show it to you, not yet. And it's basically like videos and exercises for you to prepare for the bootcamp. It's like, for example, HTML 101, CSS basics. It's like an overview of the bootcamp, but just the basics, so that when you come in the bootcamp and it goes very, very fast, you're never unfamiliar to a concept. Like when you see Ruby for 3 weeks and then suddenly we move to JavaScript, you're not like, oh my God, what is this language? No, because you have seen it already in the prep course, like you're familiar to this concept, okay? There's a question. So like, just a reminder that to do all of this, you need some time. So if you're applying for the July session, please make sure that you apply soon enough, because then you will have all the time in the world to prepare and come ready, okay? I really want you guys to come ready to the bootcamp. It's like a key factor of success. We have a question from Gabrielle in the chat asking about the salary. So if you want, I can show you again, like our outcome report, the salary part. But again, just a reminder that these are the Brazilian numbers. If you're curious about France, Germany, Japan, Australia, please check the others. But just for us to have an idea, I think it's here somewhere. Salary. So that's in reais. There was one in dollars. Where is it? It's here. Okay. So in Brazil, it's the average salary after the bootcamp is around 4,000 reais for junior Ruby on Rails developer. And for our international students or our Brazilian students who worked remotely for the US, for Europe, the average salary is $2,500 US. Okay, we had numbers in different currencies like euros, yen, whatever, and we converted them. Okay, just for you to know. And yeah, this is like another question. This is the main base for like a 9-to-5 job as a junior. But again, like it's like from my experience, I'm the manager in the last 3 years and the 500 students have met, it really depends on your background. For example, if you work in business, you learn how to code and then you become a product manager, you will earn a much higher salary. Actually, like in our data, like you can see the detail in the outcome report. In our data, like the position of like product manager, product owner, data manager, whatever, like are the ones who are pushing the salary up, because they are that kind of position where you need business and coding, you need marketing and coding, you need finance and coding. And it's usually a mix of different skills that makes you a very, very valuable person. So that's why, like, don't take the salary like, oh, I will be earning that, because it's very likely that it really depends on you, your profile. Even if it's still very good salary, I believe. Mostly if you're working remotely, because again, these are our Brazil number. If you're working remotely and you're making $2,500 in Brazil, you're living the high life here. So it's again very different if you're American and working in San Francisco, for example, where I believe you cannot go below 100,000 per year. So please keep in mind that it depends on you, where you're based, what you do, if you're remote or not. Basically, yeah. This, and Sean is asking, what are the dates for the July session? Great way for me to transition to this page. So here on the Playa del Carmen page at Wagon, you can see that the next dates are July 11 to September 9, which are amazing dates to enjoy the summer in Mexico. And if you'd like to go to the next step, which is applying to get on a phone call with me, start the test, you just click here on apply now, and you will end up on this page where you fill in your information. It takes like basically like 2 minutes. You just put your email, select the dates you want, etc. Then you will receive an automatic email asking you to book a time with me. That's basically the next step. So again, here you have all the information about the city, what we do, the campus, everything. And if you want, if you need anything, you can like text me on WhatsApp. There's also a little chat box where you can chat with me. I will be sending my WhatsApp here also. Victor, can you send like my WhatsApp on the chats on YouTube and everything?
Yes.
I think you have the rights. YouTube blocked me if I want to send a link.
Can you send me on the chat of Zoom first?
Yeah, I will.
Just to copy and paste.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm excited to see you all in the applications of Le Wagon. If you have any question, anything, please get on a phone call with me. Even if you don't want to do Le Wagon, or if you just want to discuss like transitioning your careers, like I've seen so many people do it. So many, like I love Le Wagon that it's always an environment where people arrive and they're lost in their lives and they leave with like a purpose, something to do. They have more skills, they have more goals. So it's always very satisfying for me to see, and I hope that you guys will be the next class we can change lives. So yeah, exciting. Anyone want to ask questions? You can unmute yourself if you want. We can talk directly, or you can send question in the chat also. No, everybody's shy. It's okay. Fair enough. Okay. Then next step, guys, is to go on the website lewagon.com/Playa del Carmen, and you can apply. You can find all the information. You can chat with me, and yeah, hopefully I see you again. I talk to you again, and we meet in Playa del Carmen on July 11th. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Victor, for organizing the event.
Yeah, I'm going to Playa del Carmen too.
Yay! I want everybody to go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.